Hello, this is the continuation of the part 5 of the video series on solving triangles. In the last video, we looked at sine and cosine rules. So we derived sine and cosine rules and we looked at how we can apply them. So in this video, we are going to look at some examples using sine and cosine rules. And the first example we are going to look at is this. Now in a triangle ABC, AB is 5.2 centimeters, BC is equals 6.4 centimeters, and AC equals 3.6 centimeters. So you have to calculate all the angles of the triangle. So let's draw the triangle first. So let's say we have this as a triangle. So A, B, and C. So we're told that AB is 5.2, is 5.2 centimeters. AC is 3.6 centimeters, and BC 6.4. So these are not drawn to scale, I guess. So don't worry about whether this is almost equal to that. So now how do we solve this? Well, if I want, I can use cosine rule to solve for all the angles. But I don't want to do that. What I want to do is to use cosine rule to find one of the angles. Then I will use sine rule to find the second angle. Then I will use the fact that all the angles in the triangle must add up to 180 degrees to find the third angle. Okay, so that's the strategy I want to use. Now let's calculate the one of the angles first. I want to calculate angle A. So using cosine rule, cos A will be equal to B squared plus C squared minus A squared over 2BC. Okay? So if you substitute the values, so cos A should be equal to, so B squared, B is 3.6. So the side that is facing angle B is small b, the side facing angle A is small a, and this is small c. So B is 3.6, so 3.6 squared plus C is 5.2, 5.2 squared minus A is 6.4, 6.4 squared divided by then 2 times B is 3.6 times C is 5.2. Okay. So we punch a calculator. So 3.6 squared will give you 12.96 plus 5.2 squared uh, 5.2 squared 27.04 minus 6.4 squared 40.96 all divided by 2 times 3.6 times 5.2. So that will give you 37.44. So we solve the numerator, you have 12.96 plus 27.04 plus, minus 40.96. So that will give you minus 0.96, minus 0.96 divided by 37.44. So will be cos A, will be cos A. So we divide that by 37.44, then so that gives you minus. So cos A should be minus 0.0256. So A will be cos inverse of minus 0.0256. So if you press that in your calculator, shift cos of the answer, that will give you 91.5 approximately. So A is approximately 91.5 degrees. So now I have the value of A, so I can calculate B using sine rule. Why? Because now I know angle A, I know side A, so I know one angle, one side. So if I want to calculate angle B and I know side B, so now I have two sides and one angle. So I can use sine rule to figure out the angle, angle B. So if I use sine rule, sine rule, so A over sine A equals B over sine B. So A is, using sine rule, A over sine A equals B over sine B. And what is A? A is 6.4, and sine A, so angle A is 91.5, 91.5 degrees equals B. I know B. B is 33.6. B is 3.6. And 6 divided by sine B. So if I cross multiply, I will have 6.4 sine B equals 3.6 sine 91.5 degrees. So sine B will be 3.6 times sine 91, sine 91.5, that's 0.9, so 3.6 times 0.9996 divided by 6.4. So sine B will be multiplied by 3.6, then divided by 6.4, 0.562. So I continue here. So B will be sine inverse of 0.562, and B will be shaped sine of 34.2. So that's B. Now I know A as 91.5 and OB as 34.2. I can calculate C because I know that angle A plus angle B plus angle C must add up to 180 degrees. So C will be 180 minus A minus B. So C should be 180 minus 91.5 minus 34.2. And C will give you 180 minus 91.5 minus 34.2. So that gives you 54.3. So now we know the angles. We know all the angles. A is 91.5, B is 34.2, and C equals 54.2. That's it for the first question. Now, the second question is this. You have to find X and Y in this triangle. Now, if you look at this, so we can find X very easily because we know this side AB and we know this angle that is facing that side, and we know this side that is facing this angle X. We can easily find angle X using sine rule. So 12.3 over sine 38. That's this over sine of the angle will be equal to the side 15.6 over sine of the angle x I'm looking for. So if I cross multiply, then I'll have 12.3 sine x equals 15.6 sine 38. So sine x will be 15.6 times sine 38. So sine 38 is 0.615. 0.61566. So we multiply that by 1.15.6. So then divided by 12.3. Divided by 12.3. 0.7808. So x will be sine inverse of 0.7808. So x will be sine inverse of that. So x will be 51.34 degrees. So that's x. Now I know that angle x. So I can find y because I can easily find angle A, this angle A here, because A plus B plus C will be 180 degrees. So I know angle C and I know angle B. I can find angle A now. So angle A will be 180 minus B minus C, and that will be 180 minus. So angle B is 51.34, angle C is 38. So 180 minus 51.34 minus 38. So that will give us 90.66. So A equals 90.66. Now I can find y because now I know the angle facing y. This is 90.66. I can use sine rule again to find y. Y over sine 90.66 will be equal to 12.3 over sine 38. I can use x and 15.62 if I want because I know x now. If you cross multiply, then you have y sine 38 equals 12.3 sine 90.66. So y will be 12.3 sine 90.66 divided by sine 38. So 12.3 times sine 90.66 divided by sine 38. So y will be 19.98 centimeters. Okay. So the last example we'll look at is this. So you have to find the value of x in this diagram. So what you can do first is to find, before we can find x, we need to look at triangle ABC. And we have no information about the angles. We don't have full information about the angles. So we can find this angle. If we know this angle, we can use it with this side. Then we need probably this angle. Once we get this angle, we can get this angle. So, but because these two sides are the same, let's say this is D in triangle BCD, because this side is equal to this side. This is definitely an isosceles triangle, and the base angles will be the same. So this should be 50 degrees. So if that's 50 degrees, then if I look at this triangle BCD, I have this side, this angle, then I can find this angle. This angle should be 80 degrees because all the angles must add up to 180 degrees. So with this angle, I can find this side using sine rule. So BC over sine 80 should be equal to 5 over sine 50. So this over sine of the angle will be equal to this over sine of the angle. So if we cross multiply, BC sine 50 degrees will be equal to 5 sine 80 degrees. Then BC will be equal to 5 sine 80 degrees divided by sine 50 degrees. So BC will give us 5 sine 80 divided by sine 50. So that will give you 6.43. Now I have BC as 6.43 centimeters. Now I have this side, and I can find this angle A using sine rule. Now if I draw this triangle out, so that triangle ABC looks like this. Okay, this is A, this is B, that's B, and this C. This is 8, this is 6.43, and this is X plus 5. So now I have this angle now, 50. I can find this angle A using sine rule. So using sine rule again, I can find this angle, 6.43 over sine A should be equal to 8 over sine 50. So if I cross multiply, then I'll have 8 sine A equals 6.43 sine 50. So sine A should be 6.43 sine 50 divided by 8. So 6.43 times sine 50 and divided by 8. Then it means sine A will be equal to 0.6157. A will be sine inverse of 0.6157. A should be shift sine of that angle of the answer. So that will be 38 degrees. Now A is 38 degrees. If I know A as 38, I can find B because all the angles must add up to 180 degrees. So that should be 180 minus 38 minus 50. So that gives 92. So I have this as 92. Now, I can then use sine rule again to figure out what X will be, because X plus 5 over sine 92 will be equal to 8 over sine 50. X plus 5 over sine 92, X plus 5 over sine 92 will be equal to 8 over sine 50. 8 over sine 50. So if I cross multiply, then I have X plus 5 sine 50 degrees will be equal to 8 sine 92. So I divide both sides by sine 50, and this will cancel that, then X plus 5 will be equal to 8 sine 92. So this is 92. So that's 7.995 divided by sine 50. So that gives me 10.43. 10.43 of 0.44 approximately. So x will be 10.44 minus 5, then x will be 5.44 centimeter. So we stop there, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.